Russia ranks as the #3 source of children for American adoptions, but the former Soviet Union nation wants to ban U.S. citizens from adopting, leaving Americans to select other countries such as China and Ethiopia. As Amherst Wire's Kylee Denesha tells us in this live report, China is the #1 source for U.S. adoptions. Kylee, why is that?
Well, James, with a population over 1 billion and growing, 10,000 children are abandoned in China each year. I'm here with UMass Amherst Journalism Chair Kathy Ford, who stepped out of her office here at the ILC to talk with us today. Kathy adopted her daughter from China in 2002. Kathy, most international adoptions take 4 to 5 years to complete. How was your experience with the adoption process?
When we were adopting our daughter from China, it took us much less time to adopt. At that time, most adoptions happened within 1.5 to 2.5 years, so it took us closer to 2 years to adopt, from beginning to end.
And why China?
Well, we looked at domestic adoption. We also looked broadly at international adoption, all our different options, and we chose China because we have a family member who speaks it fluently and is deeply connected to Chinese culture. We also chose it because it was such a stable system, and we knew how the system worked. We had as much faith as we can have in international adoptions that this was not some type of illicit or unethical trade in children.
And what was your experience like traveling to China to adopt your daughter?
It was an incredible adventure. It was 10 days. We spent the first several days in China with government guides who took us to major cultural sites in Beijing. And this, of course, was to pump money into the economy. And then we met our child, and that was a pretty amazing moment. She just suddenly became our child. We were in our hotel with some other families adopting, and the nannies and orphanage director came to the hotel and simply gave us our babies. It's kind of an astonishing thing. I think it's astonishing for any parent to become a parent, but I think it's pretty astonishing to become a parent in that way, and traumatic also for the children.
And Kathy, how has Zeta adjusted to the United States?
She's been in the United States since she was 16 months old, and so as far as she knows, that's her life. She's a U.S. citizen. She speaks English and has having to learn to speak Chinese. Her early adjustment, when we first got her, she couldn't sit up. She had no words yet. She seemed to have no familiarity with solid foods, but within 3 months she was walking. She was beginning to talk, and her adjustment has been it was rapid and has been pretty remarkable ever since.